Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Frillioth and welcome to another video of me trying to build a UHC server in vanilla Minecraft. Right, yesterday, a couple of days ago when you were last with me, we'd done most of the work. I'd only got a few bits and I thought I'd only got a few bits and pieces left to do. But I've been reading your comments and they've been fantastic. And it turns out that I've made a fundamental mistake that was so blindingly obvious that it's embarrassing for me to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. Basically, in the last episode, I was talking about having to kill your teammate. I was working on the assumption that it was a free-for-all, and at the end there could be only one man standing. So even if you were on a team, and there's no I in team apparently, even though you're on a team, you still had to kill your teammate in order to win the game, which was ludicrous really, and it was pointed out by quite a few of you. So I've had to make a few changes. So let me just run through the changes I've made and then we'll have a quick game. I don't want to go through all of the command blocks because there are loads of them now, but I'll give you a quick run around the command center and then we'll have a quick game, and hopefully you'll be able to understand exactly what's going on, and you'll need to let me know if there's anything else I need to add to it. But there's a game reset which basically resets all of your scores. You need to do this the first time you come onto the server and after every game. So it resets all your scores, it resets your death count, it resets your kills, your lives, it resets the teams. There's loads of stuff. There are loads of command blocks associated with that button. They're all of these here. So all of these range from turning off timers to putting it into creative mode, to setting the time to 0, to putting the world border back to 2000 again. You know, all the basic grunt work that you need to do prior to the start of a game. And then we've got these couple of buttons here which I've added. These are toggles. This either toggles your friendly fire on or your friendly fire off, and you get a message in chat. So if you put your friendly fire on, it's basically telling you that you can hurt your teammate. And if you turn friendly fire off, it means that you can't hurt your teammate. Now, I'll touch back on this in a second because there's a little procedure that you have to go through prior to the start of every game, otherwise you're going to come a cropper. But that's the friendly fire button. This is the name tag visibility button. So if I press that button, name tags are now visible if you're on the same team as somebody else. There you go, everybody's name tags are visible, and if you click it again, you toggle it off, everybody's name tags are invisible. So if you're playing team deathmatch and you want to be able to see where your teammate is, you want to toggle that on. However, if you're playing, and it's the same with both of these buttons, if you're playing on free-for-all deathmatch where it's everyone for themselves, last man standing wins, you need friendly fire turned on. And maybe I'll put a button, and maybe I'll put a plaque somewhere telling you this, but you need friendly fire turned on, because even though it's free for all, we will still all be in the same team, and I'll explain that in a second. So you need friendly fire on, otherwise you won't be able to kill anybody, and you need name tag visibility off. If you have name tag visibility on and friendly fire turned off, then we won't be able to hurt each other. Because in effect, even though it's a free-for-all, we're on the same team. Now, the reason for doing that is because the only way to get the name tags to disappear is to put you on a team. You can't make name tags disappear from players unless you're actually on a team. And so if it's free-for-all, everybody's on the same team. At the moment, we've got 5 teams. You know, we've got the yellow team, the pink team, the blue team, the red team, and the green team. And you either go on one of those if it's a team deathmatch. If it's an individual match, you go on to another team, which is not listed anywhere, and you can't see how many. You know, you can't see it, and it won't be displayed anywhere. But that you need to be on a team in order to be able to not see the name tags. So for a free-for-all, you need friendly fire on, you need name tag visibility off. So friendly fire on, name tag visibility off. I can now hurt those people and can't see their name tags. So what we'll do to start with is we've seen that we've been through that before, and you've seen that we've been through that before. We'll have a quick game, but before we do, I just want to go and show you this, which is fantastic. It's brilliant. It took me absolutely days, hours and hours and hours to sort it out. This mechanism keeps track of what team you're on. So all of that there, it's got two functions really. It keeps track of what team you're on, and it puts a message on screen telling you which team has won at the end. That's what those command blocks do there, and that's what that command block constantly monitors to see how many teams have got players in them. And as soon as only one team has got a player in them, one team has got a player in it, it'll put a redstone pulse down that line, and it will activate one of those command blocks to indicate the winner of the game. It's very complicated, took me ages, but basically what it does, let me get the teams displayed on the right hand side of the screen. So now we've got the team count on the right hand side, and that tells us who's in what team. So at the moment, both myself, because we only selected two random teams, it's put 3 players into 2 teams. Myself and Furcam are in the blue team. BP Dorian is in the green team. But if I wanted to be in the red team, I'd stand on that pressure plate, and on the right you can see it puts me in the red team. So it's added a player to a players in team which I had to set up in order to keep track of this. However, if I were to stand on the blue team, it'll add me to the blue team, but I needed a way for it to take me off the red team as well, which is what it does. Okay, now if I stand on that plate again, I don't want it to add me to the blue team again because I'm already in it, and it doesn't. Okay, if I want to be in the pink team, it adds me to the pink team, but it takes me off the blue team. And that's what this does here. These command blocks check if there's a player in the green team. It tests for any player that's in the green team, and if there is a player, like there is, it will, like these two comparators, which will add a player to the players in team. Okay, so when I stand on the green pressure plate, that goes on, it adds a player. Why am I throwing that about? Adds a player to the player in team there. When I stand on another pressure plate over there, this will go off because I'm no longer in the green team, which turns off that comparator, which turns on that redstone torch, which removes a player from players in team. So the players in team stays constant with the amount of players on the server. It is quite difficult for me to explain. However, that just keeps a track of how many players are in your team, and obviously when you add a player to a team, it takes you off the other team, which is in effect what that does. I love it. It's very clever. Okay, so I think we'll have a team deathmatch to start with. So because we're having a team deathmatch, we want the friendly fire disabled because we don't want to be able to shoot our team members. We want the name tag visibility on because we want to be able to see our teammates. At the moment, we're not in the same team, which is why I can't see their name tags. And I want to put the game in team deathmatch mode. So there were two toggles. The only difference is one of those buttons puts that redstone block there, which disables the title telling you which team has won. Okay, so if it's a free-for-all, that redstone block appears, powering that line, which means none of those command blocks there will get activated, so it'll never tell you which team has won because it's not a team game, it's a free-for-all deathmatch. If we select team deathmatch, this redstone block that was here has now disappeared, which means that line can be activated, and these command blocks will tell you which team has won at the end of the game. It'll be more obvious once we play a game. So we've got friendly fire off. Yep, friendly fire off. We've got name tag visibility on. We've got team deathmatch selected. We want to put ourselves into 3 teams. Myself and BP Dorian against Frillcam. Perfect. We then hit the team deathmatch start. Now the only difference between these 2 buttons is that in the line of command blocks at the back here that this goes through, all of these, they're all the same apart from the randomly spread players command block, this one here. Because on team deathmatch, the randomly spread players command block respects teams. So if we're both on the same team, i.e. myself and BP Dorian, when I press that button, we'll both be TP'd randomly to a location on the map together because we're in the same team. The free-for-all deathmatch doesn't respect doesn't respect teams, sorry, not team names. It just doesn't respect teams. And I've had to do that because of what I said earlier about everybody having to be on the same free-for-all team in order for the name tags to be invisible. Okay, so that's why. That's the only difference. This button respects teams. This button doesn't respect teams. You understanding? Are you digging me? Hopefully you're digging me. So anyway, we've set it up over there. We've selected our teams. We're both in. Oh, sorry, all 3 of us are in different teams. I'll smash the button. Why has it TP'd me up a tree? See, that's a bad start already. I've already lost 1.5 lives. Look out. Yeah, it's a nightmare, isn't it? So myself and BP Dorian have been TP'd somewhere on the map. And Frillcam has been TP'd to a completely different place. Brilliant. But Frillcam's a bit of an idiot, really. He's wandered into a swimming pool and he can't swim. So hopefully it won't take him too long to pop his clogs. This is a great area, isn't it? Loads of wood, hills, bound to be some iron in there, cows. Brilliant. Frillcam's died, and because there's only the blue team left, blue team has won. So myself and BP Dorian are the winners. Woohoo! So then we need to and at the moment I haven't figured out, and I'm suffering from some kind of brain freeze because I've been at it forever, but I need to figure out how to automatically teleport people back to the centre of the map when a team wins. I've done it for individual players, but not for teams. So anyway, once a team has won, you come back to the main control room, click on the game reset. That brings back everybody, apart from the people that haven't respawned themselves, Frillcam. Brings everybody back to the main area here. So we can have a laugh and joke about the game and everything else, and it's set the game up again. So we can have another game if we want to. So this time we want to have a free-for-all match. So you press this button here, which puts you into the free-for-all team. Okay, which is why I can see everybody's name tags now, because at the moment we're all on the same team. Then I need to set the game up. So we need to turn friendly fire on so I can hurt people in my own team, even though we're not in the same team. Oh, please tell me you understand why I've had to do it. I'm not going to tell you again, you'll get bored. We need to turn off friendly name tags. So now I can't see their name tags. And we need to switch this to free-for-all deathmatch. And if you remember, that puts that redstone block there, which in effect turns off the team display at the end of the game. So now we've done all of that, we click the free-for-all deathmatch start, which will teleport us randomly around the map, ignoring the fact that we're in the same team. So we'll all be TP'd to separate places. So I'm at 52 minus 241. BP Dorian is at minus 23 plus 189, and Frillcam is at plus 258 plus 601. So we're all over the place, which is brilliant. Exactly what we wanted. Frillcam's decided to walk into a cactus. Oops, Frillcam has died. Poor Frillcam. Now if he respawns, he's respawned in creative mode like I wanted it, exactly where he died, which is what I wanted. Maybe I'll change that if we're in free-for-all so he TPs to another player. Maybe. Yeah, it might be an idea, otherwise he's going to be bored on his own there, not knowing where anybody else is. But anyway, it's a work in progress. BP Dorian, bless him, is up a tree again. Up a tree with no cactus anywhere. Where are the wolves? See if I can find a wolf. But as you can see down the right hand side now as well, it's only showing you the health. It's not showing you the amount of players in the teams because we're not in teams. Alright, he's jumped in a pool of water. It won't be long before he's dead because he can't swim. Meanwhile, I'll collect some seeds. 3, 1. Vipidorian is dead. Frilioth is the winner. Interesting. That should have said we will now TP. Oh, have I not put a bit of redstone there? It should now say it's going to TP us to the centre of the map. Let me just, I need to go and check that. This is why I'm doing all the troubleshooting. Oh, because that redstone block is there. If that redstone block wouldn't have been there, and I'm not sure why it is there, it would have done that. So it TPs you to the centre of the map. Again, I probably want this to happen for the teams as well, but oh, and it puts you in creative mode. So this is it. This is the game. And I'm very happy with it. I've also spawn protected the all of this entire area. The boundary, the border, the world border, comes into about 180, which puts it about here, just outside the compound. And I've done that, so at the end of the game, everybody's pretty much going to be inside here. But I've spawn protected this entire area, so you can't at the moment damage anything that's in here. Now maybe I'll change that, but at the moment I think this is not a bad idea. Otherwise I'm going to have to reset the map. I mean, if you come in here and start demolishing everything to get away from people, then I'm going to have to completely reload the map before we play another game. So I thought at the moment it's probably best if we spawn protect the area. So I mentioned in the other episode that I had a problem with the underside of the compound here being completely hollow, and I didn't know how to sort it out. Well, it turns out that I have. So all of this now, because you can see everything, it means that it's all been filled in with stone. And because I'm using World Edit, there was a fill command in World Edit that allowed me to fill all of this in without messing about or damaging anything else. So it took about half an hour, but I've managed to fill the entire underside in, which really isn't a problem anymore because you can't break these blocks anyway. So I did all of that prior to deciding to spawn protect spawn. So what I think I'll do now is I'll zip this world up. I'll tidy it up to start with, and then I'll zip it up. I'll stick it on my website at www.frilioth.co.uk. And I'll stick it on there, and I'll let you guys have a play about with it and see what you think. Give me some feedback. Tell me how I can improve it. Tell me things I've done right, things I've not done right, things that I need to revisit. But test it to destruction, basically, I suppose is what I'm saying. Now, when you install it onto your own Minecraft game, you are going to need cheats enabled, and you are going to have to put yourself into creative mode and and TP to get down here. There's no way to get down to the control center down here other than TPing yourself in. So you're going to have to do that. But apart from that, it should be reasonably straightforward. I mean, I think it's straightforward because I've built it, so I know what I'm doing. So it'll be interesting to know what you guys think. You know, the first time you come in here, is it reasonably easy? Do you know what you're doing? You know, is it easy to understand what needs to be done? And if it isn't, then I need to revisit it. But I'm only going to be able to find that out by letting other people play it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll zip it up and I'll get a world download link in the description. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and thank you very much for your comments. Oh, there was a comment that was left by somebody which is a brilliant idea, and I've not been able to figure it out yet without using mods, and I really don't want to use mods. I want this to be just vanilla, really, plain vanilla, command blocks only, no mods. But the suggestion was to reset all of the achievements at the start of every game so that your achievements flash up when you find iron and when you do some trade with a villager and, you know, that kind of thing. I think it's a brilliant idea. Fantastic. When you get lava, when you go to the, I mean, it'll tell people whether or not you've gone to the nether. You know, it's a fantastic idea, but I don't know how to do that without mods at the moment. I don't know whether there's a command for you to be able to do that. If there is, please tell me, because I need to know. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along again. If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to leave it a like, and if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. This is Frillioth, and I'm out of here.